Rupert Henry, Greg O'Shea on Mistral. So this year you beat the first adage, which is to win first you must finish. So we don't know whether you've won, but at least you finished. How's it feel?
It's really satisfying. I mean, I was on a hat trick for not finishing major races this year. So, it's fantastic. And I'll tell you what, it is a miracle that we finished because we've got a broken rudder. Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that. What's happened?
We broke that rudder after we jibed on the starboard to come back into the coast yesterday. We were going on for a couple of hours, heard a bang, and the top bearing blew up. That rudder's just held in place by a bit of rope underneath the deck.
So some sort of serious agricultural work going on down there, was there?
So we stopped for an hour and we were just thinking we were too far south to go to St Helens, and Sutherly's coming, what are we going to do? So we'll just try and nurse the boat. We thought our race was over, but we managed to put a bit of a rope system underneath the deck to hold the stock in place. Yeah. And
because usually when the bearing goes, the whole thing can go out the bottom. Yes. Is it?
Exactly. And we were worried because the whole thing's supported by the bottom bearing now. We were worried you can see the top flexing. We were going to snap off, and then we prepared to get in the raft.
So, Greg, tell us a bit about what actually happens when something like that happens, and then you've got to mend it. How do the two of you work, especially with the southerly coming?
Oh, we literally dropped the jib, and then we just ran dead downwind. Had a quiet time to think about what we were going to do.
We were really upset. We thought the race was over.
Yeah, and then
we couldn't do any more. So
we just thought, we'll try and do it, and then we'll just be gentle on the boat. And thankfully, this gets up and surfs pretty well, so we could just cruise back. Yeah.
You're allowed to use autopilot while you're doing all of that, or how does it work? You've got to have someone on the helm the whole time.
No, we use an autopilot. Yeah. So. I was down inside the lazarette. Greg was passing stuff to me, and I was getting water inside my weather gear and inside my boots, which is very upsetting when you've got a cold night coming. But anyway, so shoulder deep in water down in there and lashed it in. So we couldn't. The last part of the hard running, I guess it was yesterday afternoon, we couldn't do. We just had to sort of nurse the boat, and then obviously the wind swung around and we were beating after that. So we had a quiet period, then we're beating. So. There's a lot less load on the rudders then. So
even beating, we were sort of down rig most of the time. We were probably sailing a headsail down, reefed on what you would normally sail.
So when the top bearing goes, are you getting water in there?
Yeah, we got a bit of Cuban sticky back over the hull. That's how. Yeah. Anyway,
we had a while we were running square, the decks finally dried. And got our towels out and we're like, because it was literally bucket loads down there. So.
Well, it's great to see you actually made it. Tell us a bit more about the race. There must have been pretty good first day.
We were pushing really hard. We had a really good first day, and then that night and the following, that night it got quite light and everyone started back up to us. And the first AM sked, we were pretty upset because we had a big cap and we lost it again. But then it started to blow, and we just put the pedal down and we pushed hard.
It's pretty good sunrise next to us. Tuesday evening, they crossed our stern.
Yeah, they were saying they were pretty disappointed because they didn't have enough breeze for them, so they tried to get away and they didn't get away far enough either. So it was obviously you just got to have the right conditions, I guess. And then what happened from there?
Well, I mean, we got a good gap. We were right up. We were just sailing through a lot of boats when it was blowing, and we pushed hard for 30 hours, 24 hours, and then we had the breakage, so that was anyway, overcame that. Yeah. And then it got a bit light, and then we were beating last night, just beating in 25, 28?
Yeah.
And quite rough.
Very depressing.
A lot of slamming.
Conditions.
Not fun.
Yeah. Cold.
Greg had his unhappy hat on.
I did. But, I said I think 3 times this is the last one ever.
You won't have been the first person to say that, Greg.
Yeah. Must be tomorrow.
But that went all right. I mean, the boat, when we were on starboard and that rudder was the loaded one, the boat's pretty light under helm upwind, so it wasn't too bad. And then we got around Tasman and parked for 5 or 6 hours this morning. Typical story.
So this is a Lombard, and your is a Lombard as well. Was that a conscious decision?
Well, they're really good naval architects, so conscious decision. I liked the fit. Yeah. When Pierre Gale built this boat, he's a Australian-French guy, and I enjoy their naval architecture. Is pretty good.
Mm. Yeah. The ability of the boat downwind, wasn't it amazing?
That was really the first serious hard running we've done on this boat, and just.
Well, we went down
really
some
amazing.
ways. I probably shouldn't be going down this, and it just.
Yeah, like this boat, when this boat's going along at 22 knots, that's a lot for a little 34-footer.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Greg said, there were some pretty steep downhills. Managed to get through them all.
Good. Well, hopefully we'll see you back next year, but it depends on how you go, I suppose.
Next year, you always say that. I've got no idea. I'm hoping to get through tonight. Yeah.
All right, well done, and thanks so much for that.